Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. 3 don'ts when investing in real estate property. The first one we're going to discuss is how you take title of the property. When we first started out back in the 80s, we was just putting the properties in our names directly. But after you start accumulating some and you become more knowledgeable of what's going on, and all the lawsuits start coming out, people started doing that a lot. They started doing the LLCs. And so by the mid 90s, once we had really started accumulating properties, we had LLCs. But the unfortunate thing about the LLC, we had one LLC holding all the properties, which is still the same as have it in your name, because if somebody slip and fall on one property and all of the properties are in one LLC, attorney gonna go after the properties as a whole. It won't be singled out as if each property you have, say if the address is 1974 Main Street, you can open the LLC 1974 Main Street LLC, for example, and then you can have it held by one holding company, another LLC that you own. That's one mistake that we continually did. We did not open up multi LLCs, so that was no protection. The next thing that we did, or that I was doing, was commingling of funds. Commingling of funds is when you have an LLC and you put in we had our Section 8 checks, and all of our checks coming from the properties going into the, I would deposit them into the bank account, but sometimes I would might buy gas, or I would buy food, and my tax advisor was telling me, hey, don't commingle the funds, don't commingle the funds. But when you not adhering to the law and thinking you could do things contrary to what's being told, then that could turn out to be a catastrophe. When you do that, you just break your corporate veil, pierce your corporate veil, and so you have no protection at all. It's just like not having an entity at all. So don't commingle your funds. What you can do is you can do a draw from your LLC, or either you can do a distribution from your LLC. I'm no tax professional or none of that. All I am is a man that's done made some mistakes out here and learned from my mistakes, and I'm still making mistakes, So one thing about it is never give up and never stop. That's what one of my partners was telling me yesterday. He said, man, you still got that fight and driving you. Whereas there's a lot of the guys that's in their 60s that's bent over, that ain't taking care of themselves, or women, and they just done gave up and just accepted what life done giving them. That's not going to be the case for any of us. Drop it in the description if you're going to give up or if you're not going to give up. We got to fight for our right. We got to keep on pushing, because ain't nobody going to come and save us, and we shouldn't want nobody to come and save us. When you do have adversity, oh well, tears in the bucket. That's just how it goes. You do have struggles and strife in life. Now, the next thing that we was doing wrong was when you had an LLC, you're supposed to have annual report. Annual report by a certain time of the year, you go ahead and just update the Secretary of State wherever you had that property in. We was up in Ohio or either Georgia, and man, I wasn't updating, doing no annual report. Why? Because sometimes I was getting so much money that really was just something on the side, that I learned. The real estate, that wasn't taking care of us. We was probably getting at that time about $8,000, $7,000 a month for monthly income, which is good income because a lot of the properties were paid for. But our living expenses, as far as traveling and having fun and just wasting money, which I'm going to show y'all some other things not to spend your money on, far exceeded that, because we did have homes, loans, insurances, and other things like that. So those are just a few things not to do when you want to have your separate LLC holding each property. You don't want to commingle your funds, and you want to do your annual reports. There's a few other things that you can do, to be successful out here. But one thing for certain, two things for sure, as I look back over it, it's simple. And now with the advent of Google giving out all this information, Chat GPT and Gemini, see, back in the day, they had all the information cuffed up under their collar. They wasn't giving no information. Now, you could have, maybe in retrospect, I could have paid somebody, here, man, here go $3,000, man. I want to pick your brain, man. Go ahead and empower me with the tools. But at that time, it was just like you would ask somebody a question and they would act like they basically didn't hear you, or they didn't know, or something like that, So these are just 3 things right here not to do so that you can be successful in your real estate business. Go out and try some of this stuff. Get you a CPA. Tax professional really ain't going to be able to help you when it comes down to your tax. I'm about to make another one on taxes, some of the things we went through. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's brainstorm with James, y'all. Hit me in the comments and tell me what you think. Have a nice day.